Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, August 27th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the NQ. So you have NVIDIA earnings coming out in about 15 minutes, I believe. Very, very strong market still, but man, so methodical. Volume was horrendous today. Again, the range is small until we got a nice push up in J period. Again, we tried to spike. This time the spike doesn't hold. ES has an all-time high, but they're poor. And they didn't get the overnight all-time high. ES and NQ daily, I am still calling balance. For me, they only stretched the balance high in the dailies, right? Look what they took out Friday's high by. Not much. So if we take out today's high tomorrow, then they're automatically up in ES and in NQ on the daily. But for now, they just stretched that. So to me, it's a 4-day balance in NQ and ES. Now, NQ also is in balance on the weekly. They just stretched the weekly balance high. So I need a little more to the upside to call them up on all three time frames. Righty is up on the daily. Okay? They're technically one time framing up 4 days. Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even though the inside day. So they're up. They're also up on the weekly. And they're balanced on the monthly, but with 2 days to go, have a good potential of an outside month up. NQ goes out with a 10-wide POC and an afternoon pullback low in G. ES goes out with just the afternoon pullback in G, and they did have a lowest accepted price in B. But the fact that we couldn't hold trend leads me to believe G's low is just as important, if not more important, than B's as the afternoon pullback. You usually don't hold the lowest accepted price or highest accepted price without trend holding. So G's low is probably the more important one. Obviously, if NVIDIA hits the cover off the ball and we go up, you're going to have a new overnight all-time high. It's going to probably pass the 15th all-time high. So we have to keep an eye on that. ES, on the other hand, is still pretty wide, pretty far from their all-time high. So they'd really have to do some incredible things to really get a new high in the overnight. Remember, NQ's all-time high is in the regular trading session. ES obviously is not, as you can see. It was a nice day. Once A period finally shook out its craziness and its chop, it became pretty accommodating, I think. Now, I did get the overnight low in NQ when it shot down. I did get that. They got both overnights. And I made small on some ebb and flow. But I had told the room, our overnights are small. The market is still pretty strong. And ES couldn't even get, ES got below the base of the price probe and never got anywhere near the price spike. So they were showing strength. The question was their strength were they going to be the leader and NQ goes up, or was NQ's, I guess you can call, weakness on the opening going to eventually be the leader and ES comes in? Well, obviously the answer was ES was the leader today, because then after that, it became looking for longs. I got the long to get A's high in NQ. I actually took a short, though, when they did it against the base of the price probe. Now, I made small on it the first time. I was like, we got the overnight low, even though we're one-time framing up. Let's see what happens at L's high now. I made it came in the first time it got up there. I did not do it after that the second time. C period, I was long, got the IB high. Had a small, that was really it. I did not do much. My biggest and best trade, I'll get to that in 1 second. So A, B, and C, and then we traded sideways, was F period. I had a very nice afternoon pullback. I ended up getting long 10. The majority, 6 of them down at 40. I keep forgetting. I think it was 46. But I made about 75 points on that pullback. I was thinking about doing it again in G and using the opening as my out, but I didn't. I did not. And then I didn't do anything the rest of the day. I was caught asleep when L flushed. I probably would have, if I wasn't really caught asleep, I might have bought small there in L. So again, a bit of a P shape. Look, the monthlies are very healthy in the S and NQ. The weeklies and dailies are balanced, but they're trying to, right now, they're trying to break out of that balance to the upside. Will NVIDIA be the catalyst that does that? Or will they be the opposite? And remember, you have three things to balance rules. For now, it's rule number 2 for ES and NQ on the daily and the weekly for ES. They just stretch their balance high. So is NQ going to bring in rule number 3 where you explode through balance and don't look back? Or are they going to go to the downside and pull ES and NQ with it, and now we look for the other end of balance? Remains to be seen. We'll see what happens come tomorrow morning. Again, I don't care what happens in overnight. I care what happens. You know it's going to go wild when they come out. But the more important thing is after their press conference and everything else, guidance going forward, things of that nature, especially with tariffs still on everybody's mind. And then on the chart, so here is the weekly. Again, they took out the all-time high, but barely. So I want some more extension, and then I'd call the weekly up. And the daily, same thing. Now tomorrow, if the daily just takes out the day's high, even by a little bit, I'll call the daily up. The weekly, I'd like maybe just a little more. Volume, horrible. 42.8 million in SPY. 34, well, actually, triple Qs is, triple Qs is horrible too. They average 45. That's IWM that averages 33. So only 34 million. I'm sure it will pick up once NVIDIA earnings come out. But again, overall, with an all-time high in ES and SPY, very poor volume. I hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.